lovers, welcome to This Tweet in History, the Week in Review, podcasting to you on tape delay from our North American studios. Here are your top stories for the week ending February 6th, 2010. World, Dateline Lisbon, February 1st, 1908. Say they won a revolution. So they kill Portugal's king and his heir, wound younger duke's successor. The backstory. King Carlos of Portugal wasn't so much a tyrant as a weak king thrust into power at a difficult time. The country went bankrupt twice during Carlos's reign, and in order to quell public disturbances and criticism in the press, Carlos appointed João Franco as prime minister. Franco established authoritarian rule, overseeing the dissolution of the Portuguese parliament. On February 1st, Portugal's Journal Oficial published a new draconian public security law which provided, among other things, for the immediate deportation of political criminals to Africa. It was against this backdrop that the royal family returned to Lisbon, riding in an open carriage through the city from the ferry to their palace. On the way, a former army sharpshooter, Alfredo Costa, a Republican revolutionary, fired 5 shots from a rifle that he had been hiding in his overcoat. His goal was to destroy the monarchy and force a revolution. He succeeded in killing the king and his son, Luis Felipe, and in injuring Duke Manuel, Carlos's younger son and eventual successor. Sports, Dateline, Virginia, February 6, 1993. AIDS fells gentleman of the court, Arthur Ashe. The backstory. If I'm remembered only as a tennis player, Arthur Ashe once said, I would consider myself a failure. Ashe's accomplishments on the tennis court were impressive, and that they were achieved by a black man in an era of segregation makes them even more remarkable. His achievements off the court were just as notable. Ashe formed several foundations, among them in the fields of athletics, racial equality, anti-poverty, and AIDS research. In 1988, Ashe underwent brain surgery, and it was discovered that he had acquired the AIDS virus, presumably from a blood transfusion that he received in 1993 before mandatory testing for HIV in donated blood. Continuing in public service to the end, Ashe was arrested as planned at a demonstration protesting the treatment of patient refugees shortly before he succumbed to pneumonia. In other news, Dateline Oxford, February 1st, 1884. OED's first fascicle drops. The backstory. The intellectuals of London's Philological Society, dissatisfied with the state of current English dictionaries, formed an unregistered words committee in 1857 to search for words that weren't listed or defined in current dictionaries, concluding from their results that there was a need for a truly comprehensive new dictionary. They enlisted volunteers to read books and extract passages that illustrated how words were actually used. The book was to be called A New English Dictionary on Historical Principles. The project grew huge in scope, and in the 1870s, the Society began to wonder how it could publish something so large. Eventually, they were able to work out an agreement with the Oxford University Press, and almost 30 years after the idea for the dictionary was first conceived, the first fascicle covering the words A through ant in its 352 pages was published. It eventually sold a disappointing 4,000 copies at $3.25 each. This week's birthdays: January 31st, singer Mario Lanza. February 1st, Princess Stephanie of Monaco. February 2nd, Arthur James Joyce. February 3rd, painter Norman Rockwell. February 4th, civil rights pioneer Rosa Parks. February 5th, U.S. statesman Adlai Stevensont. And February 6th, anthropologist Mary Leakey. Thank you for joining us for This Tweet in History, the Week in Review. Be sure to follow us on twitter.com/HistorTweet and check our archives at HistorTweet.blogspot.com.